Hi, and welcome to week one of ST 5534 Introduction to Christian Theology, or Systematic Christian Theology. My name is Dr. Brian Babcock, and I'll be your professor this semester. And I'm really looking forward to exploring this material with you and helping you to form a theological understanding for the Bible. Now, to me, one of the things that we have to safeguard in an online class is relationship and rapport. So please take a few minutes and introduce yourself to the community, your other students, and to me on Blackboard. Tell me how you most hope to use this newfound knowledge that we'll be exploring this semester, and what do you hope to learn from the course? Equally important is tell me a little bit about yourself. I look forward to getting to know each of you and look forward to finding out how God uses this material in your life. Now, this week we have three goals. First, to explain the nature and necessity of systematic theology. Second, to describe a proper method for systematic theology. And then finally, to formulate doctrines in a form contextualized for the contemporary world. Now, we can actually say these are our goals each week for the course, but we really want to organize and understand God's message for His people in a systematized way. Now, our first assignment is that many theologians would say that theology is simply and only an exposition of the truths about God revealed in the Bible. Now, Grudem says systematic theology is any study that answers the question, what does the whole Bible teach us today about any given topic? Notice how this definition makes biblical material the exclusive source for theological thinking. Now think about all that. I mean, first, we're not just looking at hermeneutics, which is how to understand a specific passage, but now we're looking at the entire corpus of the Bible. Put that out here, the entire corpus, so not just a little, but a lot. We're looking at the entire corpus of the Bible and trying to understand God's entire message on a given topic. Now, is the Bible the only source, as Grudem says? I want you guys, you folks, in a 2 to 3 page paper to compare and contrast Erickson's discussion about theological method, his 10 steps, with approaches like Grudem's. Identify the strengths and weaknesses of each method, and how might your conclusions about a theological topic look different based on these two different assumptions about theological method. So in this paper, I'm looking for you to explore and understand Grudem, to explore and understand Erickson, to use solid biblical support, and likely to use some outside research to support your conclusion that you put forward and again support. So this is a research paper, and I'm looking for very specific points of support in order to prove your position. I don't at this point care how you conclude, whether you think Erickson is right or whether you think Grudem is right. Both are outstanding Christian scholars who, after looking at all the material, come to differing understandings. So you can side with one or the other. There's not a right or wrong, but there is, did you fully support your opinion? And that's what I'm looking for, and this paper is due Monday at midnight. Our second assignment is that several of your friends have recently joked about seminary being a cemetery, and the tone of their comments suggests they really mean it. A pastor mentor has approached you suggesting that all you need to know is the Bible, and that you should forego the study of theology. I want you to write a 2 to 3 page paper responding to those concerns. So if you write a letter back to your pastor or an email back to your pastor that's 2 to 3 pages long, using both biblical support and academic support, or you can write just a 2 to 3 page paper, which is a position statement on the value of systematic theology for ministry and Christian life. Now, both of these papers are similar, but one has more of an emphasis, the second one, on your position on systematic theology, using support, and then relationships to ministry and Christian life. This is also due next Monday at midnight. And then finally, we have a discussion post, and you have a couple of different options for how to structure your discussion. Describe your opinion about the value and importance of theology before you started this class, as well as the view of other Christians you may know, especially those in your ministry setting. In what ways has this week's readings from Erickson changed or not changed your view of theology? Also, what would you say to clarify or change the view of those around you if you had a change or had a chance? And then finally, are there some remaining questions or concerns about theology that you would still like to address? So I'm looking for support from Erickson, your personal feelings supported by biblical citations, and some personal reflection on where we go from here with systematic theology. Or the alternate discussion post is Erickson discusses the issue of contextualization in chapter 4 of his theology. I want you, after reading that, to answer, why is this important? What are the dangers of contextualizing? So why is it important, and what are our safeguards? Can you think of ways in which evangelical theology has adapted to Western, or often American, culture? And what are some areas we might learn from Christians in other cultures as they do theology? And I live outside of the United States, and I can tell you that there are lots of different ways that evangelical Christians in other nations worship that is both similar and different to the way most Americans worship and do theology. And not one is not right nor wrong, but they are different, and we need to understand their strengths and weaknesses. So, 2 different possible discussion posts. Your first post is due on Friday, midnight Central Standard Time. Your ongoing discussion is due no later than Monday at midnight Central Standard Time. And I have posted a video on how I grade and interpret discussion answers. And it's a little different than some of your other professors. So I would encourage you to watch that video on what I'm looking for. In a nutshell, I am looking for well-researched and well-written and well-founded and well-argumented or argued initial discussion posts. But just as importantly, I am looking for ongoing engagement in discussion over the weekend. I feel that one of the weaknesses of online instruction is engagement between students. And so I grade harshly on that in order to give you every incentive to engage with one another, dig deeper into important questions like these, and spend the weekend in conversation. That increases dialogue, it increases learning, it increases your ability to apply these theories, and most importantly, perhaps, it increases your rapport with one another, such that you can create a classroom setting and not just an individualized learning setting. So please watch that video. I do grade for ongoing engagement in discussion. Some last thoughts. Be sure to go to class introductions and introduce yourself. I look forward to getting to know each of you. I look forward to a great semester. This is a wonderful topic and one that is well worth investing our time and efforts. And then finally, email me with any questions. I address my emails as they come in throughout the day. And then I try to clear any last emails before I head to bed at night. Because I live out of the country and because I travel quite a bit, email is a great first interaction point. And then we can schedule a call that is at a convenient time for you after an initial email. You're welcome to try to call me directly, but often you won't be able to reach me. I do have a U.S. number posted. I look forward again to a great semester and to getting to know you, and let's get started. Have a great day.